Hi Gemini, welcome to your September 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. My name is Charla from CHastrology.com, and this month we're really going to see the action of that Leo eclipse that took place on August the 21st at 29 degrees that lit up your communication sector. And this was a sector of sky for you that rules communication through any type of legalities, contracts, even with your siblings. So this is a new beginning for you, probably in those areas. It's going to take about 6 months of adjustment. There's going to be a surprise factor, perhaps even about one of your siblings come up, or some sort of communication or learning. This could even have to do with academics or short distance trips and travel. Things that happen within your community or close to you. Again, with your siblings, I feel like there's going to be some communication there. Now that first week of September, things are up in the air because Mercury retrograde crosses that eclipse degree, and it's going to bring about all of these mix-ups and chaos and communication, and people are going to be struggling to really move forward with the changes that this eclipse is bringing, especially if this eclipse hit their natal chart in some way, probably within 2 degrees. On September the 4th, Mars crosses that eclipse degree, so you are going to see an influx of communication and travel. You're going to start moving forward with academics and learning and really reaching out to other people through emails, texts, and phone calls. And then on September the 6th, full moon in Pisces, and this is going to bring a certain ending for you, perhaps even related to communication and your 10th house of career. So there's some sort of communication about your career or your career field or something that is going to come to a close. So I feel like all of this is going to really bring some new changes. Once you figure all of this out in that first week of September, the new changes are going to start to move forward. And September is really going to be where you put in the work and the action towards getting these things rolling and started. On September 9th, 10th, Mercury is going to cross that eclipse degree again. And now you're going to be able to clear up communication. Mercury is your ruling planet, so every time Mercury retrogrades, it really brings a lot of miscommunication for you guys. So you really have to watch out for deception, lies, even coming from yourself. And also, in changing your mind about certain things. A lot of you guys are constantly changing your mind because you are Mercury ruled. On September 20th, a new moon in your 4th house of home takes place in the sign of Virgo. Now the cool thing about this new moon is Venus will now be crossing the eclipse degree. So you see how important this eclipse is for our lives right now, because there have been so much contact with other planets communicating with that degree and really trying to help get that change off the ground for all of us. And for you now, with Venus crossing that eclipse degree, it will trine Uranus. This is really going to bring some changes, I think, for you with groups of people, and especially in long-term relationships with parents and partners. So you're going to be doing a lot of communication, I think, with your home, with your family, with partners, and with parents, and really trying to sort out perhaps even certain endings related to some of your relationships because of a heavy load that has been felt for quite some time. Now, your relationships have been a little heavy, and they will continue to be heavy until December. And in December, then Saturn will move into your 8th house, and then again, this is still more relationship drama. So you guys have about 2.5 years left, really almost 3 years left, in which you are learning to become closer or commit or to get rid of relationships altogether. It's a slow process, and you're going to need to rehash your finances out. You've got to reinvent yourself in some way, Gemini, because a lot of you are just now going to get on that learning curve and start to learn some new ideas about how you want to succeed in life. Now, I already have the oracles laid out for you here, and we're going to discern the underlying emotional factors for the month of September. I see some new beginnings taking place, and I feel like this is in general. All of this communication is going to come forward. There's going to be communication that feels like it's happening for a reason, almost like a resemblance of the past is coming back, like you're able to connect with people again in the way that you had wanted. Wolf is here saying use your instincts. It's saying that something is not getting off the ground in the way that you would like, but it is happening nevertheless. I feel like there's some celebrations here with this situation, and I feel like your perspective is changing about how you are going to start to use your own fire and passion and your anger to build up new structures in your life. It's almost like you're learning from other people, perhaps from your siblings or those closest to you, such as parents and partners. Let's see what this new beginning is about. Oh, a High Priestess is here. She says there's something new coming forward that you have not had a clue about. You did not know about this. And the next two cards says that something happened. Something happened perhaps with a younger person in your life, a sibling. This could also be related to matters of legalities, contracts, academics. So this is the upset here, and this information may come as a shock factor to you. It could relate to certain amounts of money, especially related to Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, younger females. And this could be an upsetting factor for you. You need to use your instincts related to money, payouts of money, how you're going to be using resources. And I feel like some of you are going to be sneaky, like this is an anxiety-filled situation, but nevertheless, you are going to be moving on with certain matters related to home and family security, perhaps even reconnecting with family members here. I feel like your perspective is changing about two different people, perhaps a fire sign and an earth sign, or this is related to your parents or grandparents. There's a new beginning here with this situation. And what is unfolding is like payouts between two people and the communication about new opportunities, about how you're going to balance your debt-income ratio. I feel like there needs to be a reconsideration here. Some of you felt like you've tried everything, perhaps even within the give and take of a relationship, and you just can't make it work in the way that you want to. It just never turns out in the happy way that you want it to, or in the way that you felt like is prosperous. I feel like there's something here that could take about 9 months to unfold. Like you're stuck in a certain situation for about 9 months. But I feel like you're going to be victorious. I feel like this is about, for some of you, overindulgence in certain matters. In matters related to authority figures or feeling victory. For some of you, this is reconciliations. Perhaps some of you, it is your wish to reconcile with someone, to have victory in that sense, or to become an authority figure yourself. But I feel like you're going to be offering love in the future, and this is going to be part of that catalyst because you have felt like in the current relationship you're in that you have offered everything that you can. So I feel like there's a deep emotional pull here with an Aquarius figure, but I also feel like you are going to be mulling over how to get back on the right path. And I feel like there's a spark here that pushes you off in this direction, and it could be related to hidden matters and the endings in certain relationships that are around you. Again, the stars are talking about long-term relationships with parents, partners, and also siblings. So perhaps there's something happening in that direction in which you are able to gain insight. I feel like you feel trapped though, like you have disappointments with children or in relationships, and you're just feeling so trapped because of matters of security. Or you're feeling like someone is holding the purse strings in this relationship. And so that is what is preventing you from really moving forward on your spiritual path and blocking this movement. But I feel like some of you are being sneaky, and you know that there are certain matters related to money at stake, and so that is what you're going to try to do. Again, I feel like there are new opportunities coming for the balancing of debt-income ratio and sort of really redevising or recalculating the math even between you and a significant relationship. For some of you, this is about trust. I feel like some of you are just hanging out with people just for the sake of hanging out in matters of security, or some of you are wanting to leave because you can't trust someone, but you really can't figure out how to do that on your own. Some of you are going back to home and family, and you are really spending a lot of time there. And this is helping you to gain a new perspective. I feel like there's some conflicts in groups there though. And it's almost like this is someone doesn't really want to join the family that could have. And I feel like you may have been stubborn in some of these areas here. Let's see what the celebration is about. So I feel like there's a celebration because whatever it is going to take time. But I feel like some conflicts have been sorted through, and so there's an aggressive fire sign, a female here, and she has had a secret, and now it is going to come to light, but it's going to take some time for all of this to really get off the ground in this situation. So I'm going to use the Tarot Marchetti deck to go back and look at some of this situation. You know, I feel like someone, either you or someone around you, there has been a divorce or there is going to be a divorce and you knew nothing about this. For some of you, you could be going back to an older relationship, or you're finding that you have victory with a child, perhaps with authority figures, and this is your wish. I feel like it is going to take some time. And I think things are really getting started with invitations about crossing bridges or gaps and related to parental figures. And I feel like some of you have felt like you haven't been devoted or honest in relationships with your parents or with your partners, and you have not been loyal in this situation. And I feel like there's a storm now that is passing, or it may not be here yet actually, and this is regard to home and family. And I feel like some of you have felt like you've tried everything. Maybe this is balancing partners and parents together, and so that storm is now passing. Let's hope it's passing. Yes, it's definitely with female figures and the need to look deeper in long-term relationships. Look at the details in the communication between the two of you and understand that there have been things that have been cut away, and it has been divisive. And now the time is turning. The North Node is coming back, and it's saying pay attention to home and family now, because you have let something fall apart or fall away with your home or family, or you have been disloyal in certain situations. Now, for a few of you, this is going to be someone else doing this to you, but for Geminis, I've seen it for some time. This is about you doing this to other people because you have felt obligated, or even like you have needed to revisit deep underlying emotional factors with people, and you have not done so. Yeah, for some of you, this home and family security is going to relate to a younger fire sign, and this is going to be connected to your mother, and this person is going to be feeling very defeated after having had to move on, and they have just been grieving because of someone's sneaky behavior. The wolf is here, and this is talking about using your intuition in this reading to understand what this person is going through. So, Gemini, let me wrap it up for you. I feel like some of you are going out on a new path. You're going to start making these new beginnings with siblings and communicating with people, perhaps even communicating with your family, trying to balance your debt-income ratio, trying to find ways to get out of bad relationships. Some of you have been disloyal in these relationships. You're ready to move on, but you're just sort of biding your time. Others of you have been disloyal to family members, and now there's some sort of surprise factor that has come into your family, or perhaps this is going on with someone close to you, where they are experiencing a loss and you're trying to come in, but I feel like this is going to take some time. And there are disruptions here. That it is your wish to become more victorious, I feel like, in reconnecting with people and offering love to some other people. Perhaps even going back to revisit your childhood. I've seen that for some time. Some of you are needing to go in with the truth and to really make decisions about money and security, and to come out of these situations. So perhaps you're redefining a career field so that you can move forward, but perhaps some of you are redefining a location so that you can move forward. I want to pull 2 advice cards for you, but that's what I see for the month of September. Again, allow 6 months for it to unfold. And we have the octopus: practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms, and let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in the situation. And I feel like for some of you, people have been two-faced to you. You've been two-faced to other people. You guys have a lot of like relationship conflicts that just need to be worked out, and truth needs to come forward, and people need to say what they need to say instead of doing all this passive-aggressive, drama. Just say it and be done with it and let it go, I think, for some of you. And because the B is here, and this really talks about arguments, and this is saying there's a need to forgive. Change your mind. Change the way that you're presenting yourself. Change the way that you're communicating. Be a better communicator for some of you. And I know you've been messed up by that Mercury retrograde, but I've seen this go on for up to a year with Gemini. And so a lot of you say one thing, you're doing another, and people are seeing it, and then that's not working out. And then some of you are trying to tell other people what to do and getting involved in situations you shouldn't be involved in. A lot of you are wagging your tongues a lot, and so it does come forward. People do find out about it. And for some of you, this is an old relationship that you've needed to let go of for some time, and you just haven't done it. And others of you are dealing with children in certain situations. Perhaps some of you or even have children that are going to have a baby. I didn't mention that earlier, but it's certainly the possibility there. But I feel like the good news here is that you're going to be able to clear the air. you got to work through it, but you're going to have some new beginnings there with home and family and communicating and also career. So I wish you the best in the month of September, Gemini. Take care.